Alex, let's talk stocks. Most people say they want to invest and think about investing, but years go by and they don't invest. Why do you think it's so intimidating for people to get started?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to money in general, it's intimidating. And when you add in investing on top of it, fear starts to build up. When people hear about investing, it's always like you're behind because you don't really know what you're talking about. There's all this financial jargon, people talk a lot, and before you know it, you're too scared to even get started.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to do. Help people get started investing. And
hmm
honestly, a lot of those same fears are the fears I had when I started investing. Little background, you and I have been friends for a while,
We have.
but only recently have we started talking about the stock market and
Yeah.
investing. And through this podcast, we're going to be looking at the market, including how my investments have been doing. So before we go any further, let's start at the beginning, your beginning. What got you interested and how did you start investing?
Yeah, so I went to school for mechanical engineering, but my career has been really focused in business and data analytics. So you could say I'm a numbers guy. My life has been around numbers, and that's what allowed me to kind of pick up investing. But what really started things off was I grew up in Colorado, but my career brought me out to California.
Mhm.
And I quickly realized how expensive California was. So I was like, how do I find a way to make more money?
Mhm.
And the answer was investing.
Mhm.
And just like everybody does when I first got started, I was really focused on the short term of how do I make as much money as quickly as possible? But I learned very rapidly that this is not the right mindset and I made mistakes. And really the focus is how do I build wealth for the long term?
Mhm.
And that's the kind of knowledge I want to share.
So you've had a successful career. You've quietly been successfully investing and growing your wealth. Why create a podcast, Alex Talks Stocks? Why put yourself out there?
Really, the answer is to try to help more people. So over my career and my life, I've helped friends, family, and coworkers when it comes to investing. And as soon as people find out that I knew about investing, they'd come at me with the same types of questions. It's how do I get started? How much money do I need to get
Mhm.
started? Do I need a lot of money? What if I buy or if I sell at the wrong time? And what I thought about was all of these questions are kind of coming out of the fear of getting started. So I really want to help people get over that fear and just get out there and really get invested in the market.
Mm. Zooming out for a moment, you hear all of these phrases and cliches, buy low, sell high. What are some core principles or beliefs that you actually leverage or use in your own strategy?
So I have two core principles that I think are really important for new investors to get ahead on. The first is moving your mindset away from short-term gains to long-term wealth building. When you have a mindset around short-term gains, it allows you to get really emotional and stressed out if a stock dips. But if my mindset is I'm building wealth over time and for the long haul, I'm not caring about the market swings that happen on a daily basis. I know that I'm focused on building wealth for the long term, and this allows me to have confidence as I move forward. So that's the first one. The second one is really focused on you don't have to buy a stock just at one time. I'm a big believer in buying a stock over time. This allows you to get rid of that fear of buying low, selling high, buying at the wrong point. All of this buying talk, if I'm buying over time, I'm inevitably purchasing at a good price. And I know that, again, my goal is to build wealth over time. If I buy consistently and the stock goes up, I'm building wealth right along with that company.
That's great. Potentially a lot for a new investor who hasn't started. What's the core takeaway there?
I think the biggest takeaway for today is you have to get started. Get over this fear of being in the market. It's really important just to go out there and get your account, get it funded, and make your first investment. And I think what a lot of people will find is once you take these steps and you actually are invested, over time, you start building confidence that you can do this as a new investor. And I think it's really important that people know it's not the smartest people that make all the money. It's the people that stay invested for the long term that really build long-term wealth.
Mm. All right. Well, that's exactly why we're starting this podcast. In fact, the next episode is I want to invest, but I'm afraid to start. Alex, are you ready to talk stocks?
Let's do it.
All right.